Urban Circle Productions received funding from the Heritage Lottery Fund for an exciting new project. With key partners, the project is called Positive Identity, which is a journey of self-discovery and positive awareness.
My name is Lorraine Henry. I am the Senior Youth Worker on the Heritage Positive Identity Project. A brief overview of my role. As I said, I'm the Senior Youth Worker, so we have 2 employed youth workers and 2 volunteer youth workers. So I oversee the workers, just give them support, and we have debriefers just to make sure everything's going okay on the project. The reason why I think it's crucial for the young people to get into this kind of project is because everybody should know about their background, where they come from. The youngest is 10, the oldest I think is 17. All of them are working really, really well with each other. They've been supportive of each other. There's been loads of group discussions. They've had a lot of input. Some of the ones who I really didn't really think that would have engaged in that kind of setting, they've all stepped up, and they've been writing on the board, they've been putting their ideas across, and yeah, it's really been fun to watch. The one outcome I would love to see at the end of the project, obviously, is the film that they create, but not only that, for them to be happy with what they did, share the information and their experiences with their friends and with their teachers and their parents, just to show them that they've done something which is very constructive, they've learnt something which is important to them, and that they are starting to pass on that information and that experience.
My name is Chris Porter and I work for Communities First Central. I've been a youth worker in Newport for some 10 to 12 years now, and it's a passion of mine that I really enjoy doing. I think it was very important for the young people to visit key historical locations within their local community. So places like Tredegar House, the local museum, the Roman ruins in Killeen and Peel Docks are very historical, important places that are so close within their communities that I thought it was important that they went and visited these places and understand some of the history of these locations. Well, we've had multiple outcomes from these projects, but one of the most, for me, the most impact is that the young people will now debate around their local history. They've learned so much about their local history. They're happy to question their local history, and more so than most is that they've raised the awareness of their local history, and so if they've done that, that will enable them to take their local history forward and pass it on to future generations.
My name is Noah Kairu. I am kind of the project leader of teaching and training the young people in how to make film and looking at media as a whole and gaining more self-awareness about themselves through the art of media. Well, I think young people growing up all are watching TV all the time, and TV has a very big impact on how young people see themselves, how they feel about themselves, what they think's cool, what they think's not cool. So when they go through a process like this, it helps them to start to understand media as an industry and understand how advertising, films, TV shows, kind of how those things work and how they influence them, so they can learn how to make more informed decisions about what sort of stuff they enjoy watching and they like watching. That's one side. The other side is that it takes them through a journey of understanding their own importance, their own historical importance, and taking more positive ownership of the area they live in. This particular project, we're looking at the black presence in Wales, focusing in Newport and in Cardiff, and the project itself is about giving them more self-appreciation, understanding how their culture and their family has contributed to this area, and understanding the Welsh history generally, but also understanding the black presence that has had an impact in this area and how it can relate to them, to give them more self-pride so that they can become more integral part of the Welsh community.
So these are the big questions that are behind lots of social research, and what you're going to be doing is social research. So, out of those two things, the world's happening irrelevant of us, or the world's happening because of us, or things in the world and the reality happens because of us, which one do you think you're doing?
Yeah, they were amazing. I didn't expect them to sort of express themselves the way they did. So research can be quite boring and dry, but they made it quite interesting with the humour and their questions, which was very impressive. That's the whole point of this research session, is to sort of learn all the tips and tricks and sort of apply it to what we're going to do with the interviews, with the research they're going to carry out, and put it all towards a documentary. They'll have like a foundation of knowledge already, and then obviously when they go for the second session they'll have more to add on, so they're going to elaborate on certain things which they've learnt today, which is quite good.
Think about coming with something like this, because it's on your doorstep, it's here, and it's here for you.
I learned that systematic is taking a step-by-step process. Like, say you're interviewing someone or taking an interview, you'd build up your confidence step by step.
I learned hypothesis is an explanation of an event, an action.
I would say definitely today they've been more engaged. I think yesterday was very intense. The fact that they did a lot of workshopy things, group work and all the rest of the stuff, I think that helped with the way they learn. So it's been a lot more practical, so I think practical work actually works for them.
Generally, as a week, it's been a lot of information. We've piled in so much information of kind of putting it to their level and then taking them up to a much deeper understanding of how film works, how media works, how to produce film, what's the start, middle and finish to actually making a film. And so it's been a massive overload of information, and I've been really impressed and inspired at their engagement and how much they seem to have enjoyed the project. And I think we as a team have really enjoyed delivering this project, and it's been a fun experience. I think because in media often, especially as from the African and Afro-Caribbean community or the Asian community, we don't have great representation in mainstream television of a variety of different sides of our community. We have quite limited viewpoints. You see quite a lot of criminalization or flashy musicians or sports personalities. But in our community, we've got police, bankers, mayors, council workers, businessmen, you name it, from very poor people to very rich people throughout the black community. But it's not really shown in mainstream media in that same way. So I think for young black boys and girls growing up, it's inspiring for them to meet other older black men and women that are interested in making film and have different sides to their characters that can give them more inspirational kind of role models to look at and to realise, oh, this is something I could maybe go on to do in the future.
We went to Tiger Bay, Tredegar House, Big Pit, and to Transporter Bridge, like Newport Docks.
I also learned that when the black people were imported over here, they didn't just come over here to take our jobs. They come over here to build and help other people make a better life.
I feel that I have changed and that I have improved a lot since the project. Basically, we went to Cardiff, the docks, and Mostergate for me was the interviews because they was interesting and I learned most of the knowledge as well.
I enjoyed visiting Clean University because I liked the information about planning and preparing, and I enjoyed working on a master's level.
It's actually encouraged me into going to uni because I feel more confident in.
I enjoyed going to Tredegar House because I learned a lot about the Morgans and how they lived in their time.
I really enjoyed going to Big Pit, and because it was a really young age when they had to start working and stuff. So it was like, I think it was like 5, they said, age of 5, they had to work in the mines. And then we witnessed like how dark it actually was, so we turned all our lights off on our helmets.
Tredegar House was something I found really interesting because I like walking around the house and looking at the pictures of the Morgans. I learned that the Morgan family had land leading from Tredegar House to Cardiff.
Yeah, I would recommend other people to learn about Black history because it's a very good way of finding out about history of others, not just white people but black people and how they lived.
Yeah, it is beneficial for young people to be learning about their own heritage, obviously, because you don't know, and then one day you might come across a person which thinks they know everything and you'd be like, no.
At the start of this journey, the young people's knowledge around their history and their local surroundings would have been quite limited. And what's happened throughout this film is it's opened up debate, it's been interesting, they've discovered things that they didn't know. In talking to professionals, their views and opinions arise debating our young people. That is healthy, and I think if one thing from this film, the young people will walk away and they're not going to take things for granted. They're going to be questioning things, and if anything, they'll do their own research and find an interest in the topic of their local history. The project has been a massive success. I think the outcomes for the partners and the young people have been fulfilled, and in some respects beyond our expectations. I think the young people have come out of this having learnt quite a lot, and the way they've developed and grown throughout the project has been a credit to them.